Hey, Instagram. Hey, not Facebook, YouTube. I am Miss Flowers, helping you spot those self love red flags. We've been talking about self love, and tonight I want to talk about self love. Hey, Latanya. Self love and family, having a family. I'm not saying that everybody has a family, but some people may have a family and that's they're taking care of or might be taking care of other people. But right now, I'm talking about family. Like you created your family that you created, your children, your husband, your significant other, whoever. Nobody ever really talks about how to navigate practicing self love and having a family because your time is it's not really your own. And I like that saying where it says, heal before you have children. Because whatever you don't heal from, then your children are also gonna have those same things going on with them in their lives while they're growing up. So whatever you don't heal from, or whatever cultural beliefs or things that your parents did to you, you're going to think that it's okay to do it to your children. When in reality, a lot of things that people think were like latchkey kids, they think was such a great thing to be left home alone all the time, which I just think a child should not be left home all the time alone. And that's their like their badge of honor. And it's really a form of neglect. And I get it, the parents had to go to work. I understand that. But at the same time, thinking that you should have been left alone all the time as a child when you needed to be guided and you needed someone there to tell you, okay, this is wrong, this is not right, okay, don't do this, don't watch this, or it just a little things that as a parent you would tell your child, like, okay, the stove is you're cooking right now, that pot is on too high, you're going to burn your food. Like little things, but and then some big things. Because I know some latchkey kids probably had everybody and their mama in the house and should not have had all them people in the house, and then things happen that shouldn't have happened because they didn't listen, but also because they weren't being watched. Okay, that's a whole nother story. But let's go back to self love with a family. Depending on how many kids you got, you practicing self love has to be so deliberate. It has to be so kind of like planned out. Like, okay, they're going to a sleepover, so this is what I'm going to do while they're at the sleepover. Okay, so they're quiet now. They're going to bed. Now I'm going to do this when they go to bed. Because you really don't think about, okay, now I'm focused on me, but I can't be 100% focused on me because I have a family. So you have to get to the point where you're like, okay, it's Saturday. The kids are going to be out with friends. So now I'm going to go be with your friends sometimes. Like sometimes you need to be around your people, your friends, your day ones. Sometimes you need to be around them in order to just feel like I need to vent or I need to talk or we just need to get together and just laugh and just have a good time. So I think a lot of times as a mom, because I can only speak from being a mom, you kind of feel a little guilty because you're like, I'm gonna go take this bath because I don't. If you're a mom and your kids do not come bother you when you're in the bathroom, then I don't know. I mean, you're just a lucky woman because I swear every time I go in the bathroom, someone needs something. Someone's asking me for something, and I got three right now: 20, 14, and 12. The 14 and the 12-year-old, because my 20-year-old is usually out doing her own thing, but the 14 and the 12-year-old, one of them always comes in the bathroom to ask me something all the time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what time of night it is. It could be 3 o'clock in the morning, and I could say, I'm just getting up to go take a shower because I just feel like taking a shower. somebody will knock on the door. Even if they just, oh, I got to use the bathroom. Somebody's knocking on that door while I'm in that bathroom. I don't care who it is. They could be in a dead sleep. Somebody's coming to knock on the door. So you have to really tell your children, mommy needs some time. Mommy needs some time by herself. Daddy needs some time by themselves. And they have to understand that sometimes being alone is not the worst thing ever. Because sometimes kids think because you want to be alone, that means that you're mad at them. No, I'm not mad at you. I just need a little time to myself. I want to read a book without you asking me 50 questions, or I want to write something out. I have something I need to focus on right now. I just need a little bit of time to myself. So trying to navigate through parenthood and relationships and all that stuff, you really have to be super focused on the healing process, because self-love and self-care is not just about, well, to me self-care is like self-maintenance. You're keeping yourself up, you're making sure you look good. But when it comes to self-love and trying to heal from some of those childhood traumas and not drop them traumas on your children, sometimes you just really have to say, okay, I need a little bit of time to myself. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at anybody. I just need a little bit of time to myself. Give me, and you can even tell them to set a timer. Listen, set this timer. Put the timer on your phone, put the timer on wherever. I need 30 minutes by myself. Or sometimes I say to my kids, okay, what do y'all need before I go? Because I'm going to go take a nap. I am big on naps. So when I want to take a nap, I do not want you coming in here bothering me while I'm taking a nap. I'm going to take a nap. Don't call. Don't bother me. I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't want to do anything. I love you, but mommy needs a little bit of space right now. And sometimes they understand that, and sometimes they don't. But even in that, teaching your practicing self love yourself. Now that you have a family, now you have to show them how to do it. Now you have to show them how to set boundaries. Now you have to show them how to say no. Now you have to show them this is what I need you to do now, because everything from for children, no matter what, is learned behavior from their parents most of the time. So if you're in a relationship that's y'all all y'all do is scream and yell and fight with each other, then they're going to grow up, either they're going to think I don't want to be in that type of relationship, or they're going to think it's okay. So when you start changing things and you getting away from those toxic patterns, you also have to teach your children that too. I was talking to my kids the other day about, hey, Ink Studio Blue, thank you. I was talking to my kids the other day about something, and I was like, we don't even break down our feelings and what we're really feeling. And I said to one of them, I said, well, how do you feel? Are you mad? Are you sad? Like, what are you feeling right now? Because I can't help you, because I'm not in your head. I don't know what you're thinking. Even though a lot of times I do know how they're feeling, but I still need you to voice that. If you were in a family where people didn't communicate, nobody communicated with each other, they were mad, they stayed mad for months, nobody talked to anybody. Now you're trying to change that within your family. You have to teach that to your children. So when I wrote a journey into self, I was going back and forth about writing one for children. But at the same time, as parents, if we're going to do it for ourselves, we have to do it for our children too, because you're the parent, you're the guardian. So you have to teach them what you're learning. Even if if showing them or talking to them about it, you have to teach them what you're learning. And as a parent, like I never understood parents who were overweight and they lost all their weight, but they still let their kids eat crazy. And it was like, why wouldn't you get your kids on board with eating better? And I'm not saying take everything away from the kids, but at least if you know your kid is kind of overweight, why wouldn't you help your child become a better eater? So even with therapy, like Only one of my kids go to therapy. But the other two, I'm like, you can go to therapy. There's nothing wrong with going to therapy. When you want to go to therapy, let me know. But I'm not going to force them to go to therapy. But I do talk to them about therapy. I do talk to them about my therapist and some of the things that I talk to my therapist about, because I don't want them getting into that, because there's a stigma in the Black community that going to therapy is like the worst thing ever. And it's like, y'all jokers need to go to therapy. Like at this point, like especially people my age, I'm 40, I'll be 44 in July. Like we grew up in a crack epidemic, uh the 2008 housing crack. Like there were so many things that were going on. Like there were so many kids that their parents were on drugs, and it was like it was normal to them that their parents are on drugs, their parents are in and out of jail, their parents are doing all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, the 80s and 90s was like a great time, but at the same time, like the parents was wilding back then. Like just letting, just some of them, some of them was at work all the time, and then some of them were just in the streets. And the kids grew up thinking that that was okay. So now to them, like that's how they live their life because they seen their parents do that. Or the people that their parents work so much, like you don't even see your parent because they're at work most of the time. So now they're growing up. Now they think, oh, that's what I need to do. I need to work all the time. I need to work. I need to work sun up to sundown, like team no sleep. I sleep when I'm dead, all that nonsense. And it's just like you don't take care of your health, you don't take care of your mental health, you don't do anything that's going to benefit you later on in life. Now they're looking at their parents, and their parents are basically falling apart. And it's like, well, I don't understand. Like, your mother worked 12-hour shifts, 18-hour shifts. Like, what do you not understand? Her body is broke down. So as we learn how to love ourselves, we also have to teach our children how to love themselves in the process. And then that way, when they grow up, they're not in these crazy relationships. They're not hanging around with people that they shouldn't be hanging around with. And if they are, they're not being so much followers, but they're kind of like, this is my friend. I like them. They're fun to be around, but I'm not going to do certain things that they're doing. And then getting into the relationships that they really shouldn't be in. And it's just a toxic relationship because they learned that. So now it's all, everybody needs a reset. You need a reset. The children need a reset. And balancing that, trying to figure out how to teach yourself and teach them is a juggling act, but it can be done. I was talking to my baby girl the other day. I'm like, everybody's not gonna like you, and that's okay. I mean, I don't care who it is, if it's family, if it's the neighbor, who, it doesn't matter who it is. Everybody's not gonna like you, and that's okay because technically they're missing out. So when you're learning self love, you have to figure out the way that you want to teach your children self love. And once you do that, that next generation, if they choose to have children, won't be all messed up. Talk to you guys later.